Hey guys, today I'm quite excited. I've just got the new Samsung Galaxy S5 and the first thing I want to do is run some benchmarks on this powerful beast. I'll also talk about the full hardware specifications. Now regarding the exterior look, I'm not that much impressed because the design, the look of this smartphone is just the same as before and there is a perforated leather texture at the back. But still this phone does not look as good as Galaxy S4. In fact, this flagship has become longer, wider and thicker than its predecessor. The main reason behind this is the IP67 certification of Galaxy S5, that is the S5 is now water resistant and dust proof. The display has also become slightly larger by 0.1 inches. Overall, Galaxy S5 feels quite solid in hand but does not look and feel as premium as other devices in the same category like the HTC One M8 or iPhone 5s. I'll talk about all the pros and cons, the overall performance of this new S5 on a separate video, so make sure you subscribe and keep in touch. Now let's have a quick look at the detailed specs, and this time Samsung has included a Qualcomm Snapdragon 801 chipset, which is slightly better than the Snapdragon 800 chipset you have seen on the Note 3. The speed is slightly increased to 2.46 GHz quad-core and it's the same Crate 400 processor. So Note 3 and S5 have got almost the same specs, and I also want to mention here there is also a global version with Exynos Octa chipset and the CPU clock speed is around 1.9 GHz so far I know. The chipset version is MSM 8974 and you are getting KitKat 4.4.2 out of the box. The display resolution is Full HD as you know, and the RAM is slightly disappointing, 2 gigs just like the S4. Note 3 has got 3 gigs of RAM as you know. In countries like India, you will find only the 16 gig version of this S5. Almost half of that storage gets used by the system, so that's quite disappointing again. The battery is of 2800 mAh this time, and I think it's fairly decent. You will get at least one full day with this battery juice. These are the sensors, and as usual you will get numerous sensors into this S5. This sports a magnetic field sensor, barometer, thermometer, hygrometer and also RGB sensor for the adapt display. This step counter will help this phone to count your steps, and there is also an HRM, that is heart rate monitor, at the back of this smartphone. As you know, there is also a fingerprint scanner on the home button of this S5. Well, now it's the time to run some benchmarks, and to show you the real capability of this new S5, let's compare the benchmark results with this S4. The first benchmark I want to check is this AnTuTu 4. Well, the result is here, and you have got impressive 36,307 on this S5, which is the highest on the list at this moment, and it's also slightly better than Note 3. S4 scores 27,433, which is also not bad, but not even close to the result of Note 3. This is the breakup. You can pause and compare. In almost all the departments, S5 excels S4. The next benchmark I am going to compare is the NenaMark 2 benchmark. Well, both of these smartphones have got almost the same result, which is of course extremely good. The next benchmark I am going to try is this Quadrant standard. Well, first of all, S4 has got good 16,899, but S5 scored amazing 23,015. Here is the breakup. You can pause and check. Next, I want to run a gaming benchmark, and it's called 3D Mark. Well, as you can see, S4 scores 9536 and S5 has got 18,360, which is almost double the result of S4. So beyond doubt, this S5 is a super hardcore gaming machine. Let me show you the breakup. Now I want to quickly check the benchmark Pi as well. Well, surprisingly, S4 took less time than this S5 in calculating the pi. Again, S4 excels S5. I don't know what is the exact reason here, but if there isn't anything wrong here, then the floating point calculation speed of this S4 is better than S5. The next benchmark I am going to run is this Vellamo to check the HTML5 performance of this S5. Well, again we have got better result on the S4. As you can see, you are getting 2038 on the S4 and S5 has got 1608. So the mobile web performance of the S4 is much better than that of S5. Well, this S5 has got much better result compared to this S4 and almost identical result to Note 3. So if you are a hardcore gamer, then this S5 won't disappoint you, and you can also go for Galaxy Note 3, which is larger and cheaper. Now, because of the numerous added features, the RAM usage on this S5 is quite high, so I think Samsung should have included at least 3 gigs on this S5. Well, that's all in this review, guys. I hope that you have found this very helpful. More reviews are coming soon, so do subscribe and keep in touch. You can check the description below for the links of other reviews. Well, thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next review. Bye bye and keep in touch.